What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another Hearts of Iron 4 achievement run. We're going to be trying to get the Why Die For Danzig achievement, as well as, listen very carefully, I shall say this once, and if we're lucky, shaken, not stirred. Now, this requires us to do a couple of things, all spy related and aggressive. Why Die For Danzig is the achievement that requires you to go to war with Poland and flip France fascist without going to war with France. So that one's a little tough, but we can get it done. And then listen very carefully, I shall say this requires you to have a English and French spy do a mission together. That's pretty easy to do. I'll show you how to do that. And then shaken not stirred requires you to have a seducer spy, a seductive spy, start a coup. If we're lucky, we'll be able to get that one off. If not, no worries. I'll still explain how to do it. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. Single player, new game, 1936 start. We're gonna start as Germany. We're gonna go ahead and leave Iron Man mode on, obviously, so we can get the achievements. We're gonna do historical AI focuses. We'll go ahead and get her started. All right, so let's take a look at it here. First thing you wanna do is, so that you don't mess up your timeline, go over here to your intelligence agency. Immediately create it. It's going to steal 5 factories from you, but you need those to need that started ASAP in order to flip France pretty quickly. So for research, we're going to start with electronic, mechanical engineering, construction, basic machine tools, and then I like to go in here and immediately do interwar artillery, because we're going to be using artillery right off the bat against Poland. For construction, it doesn't really matter because we're just going to be going to war with them. But if you want to take this in the long run, it is up to you. I like to build factories in all of my 60 states, except for the ones along the coast. Along the coast, I build nothing but dockyards because I'm going to be pumping out submarines. And then anything 80 plus is getting a military factory. Let's talk about military factories. I'm going to immediately come in here and build some trains because I like trains. You're going to need those for supply later on down the road. And then we're going to get our artillery. Actually, we're going to do tanks first because I like my tanks. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to get rid of these tactical bombers. I'm not going to use them. CAS are superior. And you're going to be building those and using them as much as possible. Plus, you really want to be getting your artillery as fast as you can. In terms of your navy, I like to just build what is already in the pipeline, except for the out-of-date things. So I'm going to go in here and max out all these, and then I'm going to delete all of these out-of-date boats. Not going to need them, and most of the time they will get replaced or destroyed pretty quickly. If you want to, you can go in here and get convoys. You always want your convoys. And then, because most people like to do this with their navy, you go and do submarines. So once you're done, all of your stuff will go into building submarines, and you can just automatically deploy them and fill up your navy. I'm also going to have these automatically join my host fleet because I don't want to have to deal with merging them every few minutes. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, it's your fleet. All right. For focuses are not necessarily important. The main things you're going to want to focus on is this tree, because you need world tension to go up to 50 if you want to join the civil war that France fights. You don't have to. It's up to you, though. So what I normally like to do is Rhineland, Army Innovations, treaty with the USSR to get my medium tanks, and then I usually go 4-year plan, autarky, and then kind of mess around in here. And as it gets closer to being able to flip France, I'll start pounding through these because I want to raise, like I said, I want to raise that world tension so I can join the fight, not just send them volunteers or send them guns. I want to join the war and help take out France. That's the way I like to do it. But for now, we're not going to select a focus. We're going to let this build up to 50 so that we can declare war on them, and then we'll start on Rhineland. Training, we're going to do 3 armies of these guys. You want 8s. That way that you can do them. You're going to do that 3 times. High equipment priority. Do that. Boom. And then you'll want to select right next to the border with Poland so that those guys automatically deploy. They'll deploy to that location. Once they are ready, you're going to be forcing these guys out ASAP and then flipping them to our infantry template, which we'll go over in a little while. We're going to be changing it from what it is now to something else. Speaking of infantry, let's get all of them into one army, into a field army, or into it with a field marshal, and they're going to go hang out over there. Everything else, these are all going to be flipped over to tanks. They're going to get their own army and their own field marshal, and we're going to send them over here. Now, with this army, I'm going to have them just push their way to the end of Poland. They are basically going to be the main force that cuts this country in half. They do a really good job, but to make sure that that happens quicker, we're going to have these tanks spearhead their way into Poland, or into Warsaw. We'll select generals for them in a few minutes. Let's talk about decisions. Don't need those. Nope. Who cares about the MIFO bills? If you're planning on going for a longer game, you're going to want to do demand Dutch trade with Germany so they don't side with the British. I don't care because we're just doing the achievement. War propaganda, don't need it. Political actions, don't care. All right, so that is what you're looking for right now. Let's look at the Navy. Take that whole thing, merge it, and then immediately have it start doing naval exercises. Take our submarines. Now, if you watched my last video, I like to do pairs of 5. I like to do pairs of 5 to start out, but in the long run, I'm gonna do groups of 10. They take more sub power. I didn't save that. Nice. As a smaller, at the beginning, you're going to want these down to 5. When you get further into the game and you have more capacity for them, then you'll bump these up to 10. For admirals, for your submarine fleet, you want Karl Donitz. For your main fleet, you want Eric Rader. The main fleet is eventually going to be used to cross over into England. You can use them to defend your things here because the Polish do have submarines, but they're garbage, so it doesn't matter. Set these guys on auto. So these guys are going to exercise until they're max level. You can do that by shift clicking naval exercises. Makes your life easier. Then you don't have to turn them off once they're done. You can do the same thing with your planes and your infantry. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab all of my planes and I'm going to disband them. All right. So I think that is everything. Let's talk generals real quick for the army. One thing I like to do is I will promote Erich von Manstein and have him be the leader of my infantry, and promote Heinz Guderian to be the leader of my tank divisions. So to start, I'm gonna grab Vetter von Bach and Earl and Rommel for these guys. I don't like to train my tanks. I think that it is a waste of tanks because you use your tanks to exercise, and that is not good, even though it gives you army experience. All right, I think that's everything. We'll get started, kick this up to 5, and we're gonna wait until, well, we're gonna wait until either our intelligence agency is done, which will be in 30 days, or we have 50 experience. All right, let's let her rip. All right, I overshot a little bit, so we're gonna go in here, justify war goal, conquer. I always pick Danzig because I'm that guy. This will start 30th of September, 1936. So that's when we'll go to war. So we're gonna pump out troops. We've got about 9 months. So we need to start pumping these guys out, and we need to start getting ready for war. All right, 8 days until intelligence agency is run. Intelligence agency is ready. See you in 8 days. All right, so we are back at it here. Intelligence agency is formed. The next thing you're going to want to save your political power for is the elusive gentleman, or the whatever he's called in here. You go in here all the way at the bottom. Elusive gentleman, he's going to get us a bonus spy. We need that bonus spy because we are going to have one right now who will immediately start going into France and getting us some intelligence network. And we're going to want a French one, so we're going to go in here and do localized training centers first. It's expensive, takes 10 factories, which sucks, but we need it. You're going to go with localized training centers, psychological warfare, unalive pills. I always go army department and then form department, but after these 3, it doesn't really matter what you do. As long as you have 5, once you have 5, you get a 3rd spy, and we need that 3rd spy ASAP. All right, see you when I see you. All right, so some of our divisions are ready to be jumped out, so we're gonna do that real quick. Drop them down. These 8 are ready. They can become their own army. Assign them to the top here. These 4 get their own army. Congratulations, you're assigned here. And this single gentleman here gets his own army, and he is going to take this area down here. Select both armies, bring them in here, and then you can actually start exercising them the same way we did earlier. Shift K, start getting some experience, and they start to level up. They're going to lose some experience when we flip them to infantry divisions, but that's totally fine. We need that army experience to get our divisions set up. All right, next thing you want to do is you'll take each army that you drop down, and you're going to assign them to an army. That way you're not having to assign these guys individually each time they go. So we'll do that, and then we'll see you next event. I did want to say I like to have 4 even number, like nice numbers of tanks. So I'm going to put 10. I'm going to make 4 more tank divisions and send them to go with that 6 that I already have. All right, localized training centers is done. Right in time for us to get our first spy. Let's go over here and get psychological warfare. And then, so this is the other neat trick. We did that localized training centers. You'll go into your decision tree, and then you'll get these little emblems that pop up on your map. That means that you can recruit from that country for a spy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a French spy. And you can come in here. We have this is Wolf. She is not a seducer. She's tough, though. That's good. So she is going to be working for us in France. The best part about using a localized spies is that they have a lesser chance of getting caught by that country because they're French, which is great. Next one we're going to get is going to be a normal German spy, and then hopefully enough time will have passed for us to pull a British spy down, and then we can set the coup off using both of them. Now you need to get this amount. Your intelligence network needs to build up to, I believe it's 80%. You need to get up to 80% intelligence to launch a coup, but this country will need to have less than 50% stability while at peace, and they're going to need 20% for whatever ideology you're flipping them to. So I need to start forcing fascism down their throat ASAP, and then start ruining their stability. But we're not going to worry about that. They're the lesser thought compared to Poland. All right, so the Rhineland is done. That's great. That gives us the bonus political power. We can use that to get us our elusive gentleman. I'm going to go for army innovations because I want more army experience. So we'll go in here, elusive gentleman down here at the bottom. His name is Wilhelm Canaris. In 30 days, he will give us an additional spy, which we can use to start applying fascism to their country, which is great. All right, see you in 3 days. All right, psychological warfare is done. We'll go in here. We're going to get unalive pills. See you in a few days. All right, electrical engineering is done. I'm going to go for mechanical computing just because I like to focus on my engineering and industry. All right, so with the most recent patch, they actually lowered the spirit of these. This is a new feature that came out during No Step Back. You can now use your army, navy, and air experience for things other than building and upgrading planes and stuff. So it looks like we have our navy ready to go already. So we're gonna go in here. I like to do signals training gives you plus maneuvering and coordination. I just feel like that works. You could also go for instilled aggression. With the new patch, they actually lowered the amounts that you need to spend. So this one's 20, this one is 35, and this one is 50. These are both 50, and then this is the same as Navy, 20, 35, 50. We're gonna go with attack, so as our generals level up, they get an additional +1 to attack for sure. All right, our unalive pills are done. We can also recruit another spy. Unfortunately, we can only recruit one from Germany, so we'll do that. There is a seducer option. It's up to you whether you grab the seducer or not. I already have all 3 achievements, so for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna grab the seducer just for the kicks. If I wanted to, I could have him do my coup later on, but I'm not going to. We are going to go in here and do propaganda, or we're gonna do boost ideology in France. Fascism, send 1%. That number needs to get up to 20 for our coup to be able to happen. So this needs 20. This needs to go down to below 50. All right, army department is done. We need one more department in our intelligence branch to get us another spy. You can do whatever you want. I like to do foreign department because then you can start decrypting the cipher for the other countries. So that's what I would recommend doing. But like I said, it's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to do that. All right, we have a 40% intel network right now, so I can kind of show you orchestrate coup. 180 days. Sometimes it lasts longer depending on how good their intel network is. You're going to need 2 spies, and you need 70%. It's 70% intelligence network. So we need 30% more, 20% more support for the Mouvement Français, fascist France. And we either need them to be at peace with less than, if they're not a major power, less than 70% stability, and at peace. If they are a major power, at peace, less than 50% stability, or if they're at war, you can get them down to 35% stability. That is how you can do it. All right, interwar artillery and basic machine tools are done. Now remember, I'm not doing a long game, so my choice for research is going to be a little different than yours. Per standard, you're going to want to, I always go dispersed industry for a long game. I'm going to do it now too. And then I always go radio next because I'm eventually going to want to be able to get signal company for my tanks and infantry, as well as logistics companies. These are the 2 that I always end up adding to my divisions on top of, I'll go in here and show you. So in the long run, we're going to have engineers for the infantry, engineers, artillery, support anti-air, and then logistics and signal companies for them. All right, Army Innovations is done. I love that because it gives us 10 experience. We're already up to 15, so we can make some changes. I'm going to start treaty with the USSR just because I want to be able to get medium tanks if I so decide. We have 150 political power. I'm immediately going to go in here and get the infantry expert Ferdinand Schroner because I want plus 0.09 army experience a day, as well as my infantry having higher defense and attack. All right, so we have 15 experience now. We're going to go in here. I have been running this division since No Step Back came out, and I've had pretty good success with it. It's a 9-2 division, 24 combat width. You've got 2 artilleries plus your support artillery and your 9 infantry and your engineers combined with support anti-air, signal companies and logistics companies. They do pretty good work. It worked with my Netherlands campaign, and it worked with my German campaign so far. My testing of this run since No Step Back came out, it's worked pretty well. So that's what I recommend you use. If you have something else, let me know what it is, and I'll try it for sure. All right, so now we have 5 departments of our intelligence agency. If you've got the factory support it, keep upgrading this stuff because it's actually pretty good, especially the cryptology department. I'm not going to do that because I want my stuff. But in 29 days, we'll get a 3rd spy, which will continue increasing our propaganda. We should, by the time in 30 days, be able to get us a British spy. If not, I'll just hold on to him for a little while until I can get it. I'm still unsure of what the cooldown is of recruiting from out of country, but we're still quite a bit of ways from being able to do a coup anyway, so no worries. All right, so we can get another spy right now, but I don't really want to because I can't. I want one from the UK to do the achievement, so I'm gonna hold on to him for a little while. Hopefully it pops soon, otherwise it's gonna be a little frustrating, but it's okay. All right, construction's done. Go in here. I'm gonna do excavation because I want those resources. All right, so all these divisions are done training. We can go ahead and go in here. We're going to do change template, all of them to infantry. That's gonna suck because they're all going to lose whatever experience they already had. Look, some of these already had some infantry experience. It's gonna be okay though. I swear it's gonna be okay. And go in here, just stop, restart having them train. They will level up pretty quickly. You want to make sure you stop by before your wartime, that way they can get entrenched. You're gonna be light on guns for quite a while, but we'll make up some of that from Poland, and then with the 10, you can even get up to 30 guns, 30 factories on guns. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, I promise. All right, treaty with USSR is done. I'm gonna go in here and get 4-year plan. All right, so it's August 29th. That is quite the jump because it was what, February? So that's 6 months before I can train another one. Kind of sucks, but we're gonna go in here and we're gonna get our British spy. Let's see how good is, ooh, how good is she? She does not have the seducer trait, which stinks. So we'll only be able to get 1 of 2 achievements right now. You could do it differently if you really wanted to. You could get your seducer to be part of the coup operation and then have the British and the English spy, or the British and the French spy, run together on a different mission. There are plenty of 2-op ones like prepare collaboration government in England later on. That would be fine. So won't be able to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, but you get the idea just in case. All right, it is the 30th of September. I've paused it just at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 30th of September. I'm going to stop them from training now because I want them to start getting entrenched before the 3rd of October, because we are going to barrel our way into Poland. We're going to set these guys to aggressive, and we're going to let them go. We're going to go hard in Poland. We're going to try and get this done before the 1st of the year. Wish us luck. All right, justification is done. Most of our guys at least have a little bit of a bonus. Not a full bonus, but it's fine. We're going to declare war, conquer. Nobody's going to come to Poland's aid. It sucks to be Poland, but we didn't go to war with France to take Poland, which is going to be great. That allows us to get the achievement still, and we just will now, once we defeat Poland, we will just need to flip France to fascist. All right, let's get this over with quickly, boys. Oh, the other thing I want to mention, because I forgot to do this, is you want to change your priority for supplies. I always pop this when I'm engaged in combat with my entire division or with my entire field army. I always pop this up to full motorization. That way that your guys are getting the most supply they can get. Because look at this. Look how bad their supply is right now. It's not great. It's not great at all. But it'll get better now that we have trucks bringing them stuff. Hey, 4-year plan's done. That's great. I'm gonna get autarky because we're not close enough to flipping them yet. Yay. All right, here's the other thing. When we did Army Doctrine or Army Innovations, it gives us a discount on the new Doctrines tree. Now you can get 50% off of the Mobile Warfare Doctrine, which is what Germany starts in, but Superior Firepower is still the way to go. I haven't decided on which side of the tree to go with, but it's still going to be better no matter what for me, in my opinion. So I'm going to switch us over. Superior Firepower. Get that increase to all frontline battalion soft attack. Just for kicks, I'm going to go in here and do Army Logistics. More Army experience and less attrition for our guys. Radio's done. Let's get improved machine tools. All right, there goes Poland. 4 the year's over. All right, pass a few times. Now you can do whatever you want with Poland. You can puppet the whole thing. You can take the whole thing. I, on the other hand, like to create a couple buffer zones for when I go to war with the Soviet Union. Do that, and then give Belarus, Wilno, and then I will take everything else. Perfect. We got a couple bonus states down here. Now we can show the Czechs that we mean business, but we're not. If we do go to war with them, we're not gonna call in Ukraine, so we're gonna pull those guys out there. Now I always take my strongest soldiers and put them over here on the French border, just to show France that we mean business. 19% fascist, huh? Almost there. We could start training a 5th division if we really want to. I always do horse guys just because they're the easiest. And because we want to get rid of this stuff. Make it easier for them to train, even better. All right, France. Now we're really just waiting on France to do its thing. All right, they're at 20%. Look at that. That was fast. Let's give them some instability, please. Have those two start working on propaganda. They're at 52%, so it shouldn't take us very long to start working on it. What you'll want to do is you want to look at your operations, set them to high priority because you're going to need a lot of whatever they're going to ask for the coup. And now you have to wait for, you basically have to watch this. You can do a couple things. Okay, stop. You can do a couple things. You can go in here and you can just stare at the stability, or you can watch this emblem up here. Once this hits 8, that's when you can jump in and start your coup because you have an 8th option. All right, so we did 4-year plan, which gives us a bonus to dispersed industries. We get that in 100 days. Very nice. And let's go in here and we'll get some better equipment, just for kicks. Now, if you are like me and you're a stickler for not having anybody who is a rookie, first of all, don't forget to change these guys back to balanced manner, because otherwise you're going to get super aggressive. And then you can go back in here and keep these guys training, just to make sure that they are a good level by the time you go to war again. All right. So now we're just going to hang out and wait for France to be ready for a coup to be kicked off. All right, so we're still not quite there, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Reichsautobahn, 70 more days, and then we'll start putting pressure on the rest of Europe once we know that because you need this to be fit. You need your world tension to be at 50 in order to get invited to a war. The Civil War, the French Civil War. At this point, it doesn't really matter what you do in terms of research. It's up to you. It depends on how long you plan on making this game go. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. You pick whatever you want. In terms of political power, you're really just waiting to kick off the coup here, and then you're done. You're done. We're at 50%. Oh, there it is. 49%. So we can officially start our coup. Let's go in here. I just got my improved machine tools. As Germany, I feel like I'm always out of oil, so I'm going to get oil processing. Go in here. Oh, not quite there. A little bit more. Come on, France. A little bit more. Oh, one of our guys got captured. Perfect. And it's our German guy. Lit. So for whatever reason, France is just refusing to allow me to do a coup on them right now. That's fun. All right, there we go. They needed 0.1% more fascist. All right, so we'll go in here. We'll prepare it. We're gonna send our Frenchmen and our British. It's deadly. It's gonna take 180 days, 12,000 guns, and 1 transport plane. Interesting. We're gonna have it automatically commence. I'm gonna select. I always select the Maginot line because I don't want to have to fight through that when I join. And then we'll hit prepare. And now we just wait for it to kick off. And if anything interesting happens while we're waiting, I'll let you guys know. All right, so I just finished the KDF or the Hermann Göring work. I'm gonna start going down this list because it's gonna create world tension no matter what. So we're gonna start with Anschluss, and then I'll do reassert Eastern claims. Danzig or war will give us some free world tension because we've already done it. And then we'll just demand Sudetenland and Slovenia and just kind of work our way down. Just to generate some tension. That is unfortunate. So, little fun thing just happened. My German spy just got killed doing his job. So, that's great. Won't delay us at all because the 2 spies we have that are still alive are the ones who are going to be doing our coup. Just means that in 30 days we get to recruit a new one. We're already at 42% and we just did Anschluss, which is great. I'll do reassert Eastern claims first. Ooh, it looks like we've already kicked off our coup, so that's great. Looks like in about 170 days we're going to be kicking off a coup, which will get us the achievement that we're looking for. Why Die For Danzig? And then you can just keep playing. You can do whatever you want. I trust you. Reassert Eastern claims is done. Let's demand Sudetenland. Another thing to remember to do is change your motorization back down after you have finished your wars. That way that you're going back to increasing your stockpile. All right, so France and Britain just announced their alliance. That kind of sucks because eventually, and I've seen it go different ways, but now when you go to you're going to be kicking off the World War basically when France declares its civil war, because you'll be going to war with France alongside France. Britain will get involved, and then all of its puppets will get involved, and if you don't end it quickly, the United States will get involved, and it'll be a good time. I've seen it to the point where France forgets to join. They join a faction with Yugoslavia, and then I end up fighting Yugoslavia and France during the Civil War, and Britain's just kind of on the sideline going, what's happening down there? So the RNG in this game is a little crazy. 84 more days. Sudetenland is ours. Perfect. We'll go in here and we'll do demand Slovenia. The problem is that I think we're going to be just shy of being able to join them, but it doesn't matter. If you can get it high enough to where you can join, that's fine. If not, you get the achievement at least. 30 days and this achievement is ours. We'll get 2 of them. We'll get Listen Very Carefully, I Shall Say This, and Why Die For Danzig. But we won't be able to join the war because the world tension will be just too low. Unless something crazy happens in the next few minutes. All right. That's what we'd like to see. Nation Francais declared war on France. That's a nice little territory there that they have. The problem is we can't join. It's only at 45% world tension. The question is, are they going to be able to stay alive long enough for us to be able to join eventually? We can send 5 volunteers. I'm going to send 5 of my best. Actually, we'll send some tanks. Some nice, powerful tanks to our new French allies. Have some tanks. We'll give them to them. But at this point, you should have the achievement. Now, you will have the option to invite them to your faction, but you won't be able to join their war until they reach 50%. So I recommend definitely sending volunteers and then using your volunteers to basically keep them alive until you can get this over 50%. If you want to continue the run, that is. If not, you've got the achievement, you've got 2 of them done, and you have the ability to do a 3rd. You can start a coup somewhere else. I don't know, the United Kingdom. You could start a French coup there with a seductive agent. That would be funny. Otherwise, this run is done. Spain's going through a civil war right now. France is now going through one, and it looks like they might win. I like selecting this area because it guarantees that no matter what, you're not fighting through the Maginot if you're able to join them. But it's 1938. You've got lots of time to wreak havoc on this world. And I wish you the best of luck. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything that you think that I need to improve on, please let me know in the comments. Or if there's a different strategy that you use that worked, or maybe you saw something that I didn't, please let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. If you didn't, once again, drop that dislike button, and then let me know in the comments below what you didn't like. All right? I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some achievements out of it. And I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out for this moment with Alex. See you later, guys.